Happy Thanksgiving, GC Nation. I hope that this video finds you all doing extremely well and that your Thanksgiving days are off to great starts. My name is Kendall Smith, and I typically host the GC Roundup every single Thursday for GamecockCentral.com. It is a show where we go through the hits, the highlights, the biggest news from the past week of Gamecock athletics. But with Thanksgiving obviously being on a Thursday, I figured that this Thursday I would do something a little bit different, and instead of the GC Roundup, I would share a list of things that Gamecock fans should be extra thankful for this Thanksgiving. As you can tell, we're not only changing up kind of the theme of the video this week, but I'm also changing up my background. I am at my house in Charlotte right now, hence all of the Indiana Hoosiers memorabilia. My parents went to IU, so not my choice. I would definitely have more Gamecock stuff back here if it were up to me. But for today, we're just going to be going through a list of things to be thankful for as a Gamecock fan. So I hope that you all are having an amazing Thanksgiving. It's also rivalry week as well. The Palmetto Bowl this coming Saturday in Columbia, South Carolina, as the Gamecocks face the Clemson Tigers. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Things you should be thankful for as a South Carolina Gamecock fan. Now, I just talked about the Palmetto Bowl, and I think one of the number one things that South Carolina fans should be thankful for this lovely Thanksgiving Day is the fact that South Carolina has officially sold out of tickets for the game against Clemson this upcoming Saturday. This is a huge accomplishment for the South Carolina football team. The Palmetto Bowl is set for this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. at Williams-Brice Stadium. If you can't join that sold-out crowd in person, don't worry at all. You can watch the game on the SEC network, so a huge accomplishment, like I said. Number one thing to be thankful for, that game will be sold out, and hopefully that environment will be very hostile for the Clemson Tigers as South Carolina looks to win their 7th game of the season. And speaking of winning 7 games on the season, that reminds me of the fact that South Carolina has won 6 games this year. Something to be extra thankful for this Thanksgiving is the fact that South Carolina is now bowl eligible. And I think at the beginning of the season, nobody would have thought that South Carolina would be a bowl eligible team, but here they are. After their victory last weekend against the Auburn Tigers, South Carolina will go bowling. They will play in the postseason. And a lot of that is thanks to head coach Shane Beamer. So another thing on the list of things to be grateful for this Thanksgiving, in my opinion, is head coach Shane Beamer. He has definitely instilled a new culture within the South Carolina football program. He's taught this team to fight to the end. He's brought so much passion, love, emotion to the South Carolina Gamecocks. So that is a huge thing to be thankful for this Thanksgiving. Now, switching gears to basketball. Big thing to be thankful for, not only head coach Dawn Staley, because she's absolutely fantastic for the South Carolina women's basketball team, but it's the fact that the South Carolina women's team took down the number 2 team in the country this past Monday. UConn went down to South Carolina in the Battle for Atlantis tournament in the Bahamas. South Carolina, the number 1 team in the country. That's in and of itself something to be thankful for. Having the best team in the country in women's basketball is pretty awesome for Gamecock fans, but so early on in the season, beating such a high-level opponent is huge for South Carolina women's basketball. So thankful for that victory over UConn. That's certainly something everybody should be grateful for. Thankful for an amazing head coach in Dawn Staley, and then also fabulous players on that team. I mean, of course, Miss Aaliyah Boston coming out with 22 points and 15 rebounds in that game against UConn this past Monday. Now, another thing to be thankful for, we're switching gears now to women's soccer. The South Carolina women's soccer team now playing in the Elite 8. They have the opportunity to go to the College Cup. That would be like the Final Four of women's soccer. They're playing BYU this upcoming Saturday, so that is a huge deal for South Carolina women's soccer. And another thing for Gamecock fans to be thankful for, this past week of Gamecock athletics has just been really good. So another thing to cheers at your table tonight at your Thanksgiving dinner, South Carolina women's soccer in the Elite 8. South Carolina men's basketball also on a roll recently, winning their last 3 games. So another thing yet again to be thankful for. The list is piling up of things to be thankful for this Thanksgiving as a Gamecock fan. Great to have Frank Martin back to his typical self after a rough year last year. So Huge, huge deal for South Carolina basketball to have won their last 3 games. Another thing to be thankful for as a Gamecock fan is positive Gamecock Twitter. This was brought about by our very own Mike Yuba here at Gamecock Central. I want to say it's like 12 days of positive Gamecock Twitter now, which is definitely a record since the positive Gamecock Twitter tracker started happening. So everybody be thankful for that. I think when it's negative times and things aren't going super well for the Gamecocks, you can forget how good it feels to have that positive Gamecock Twitter. So everything going pretty well, knock on wood, for South Carolina athletics right now. So that positive Gamecock Twitter, something to be thankful for when you open your phone and you can look at people saying really nice things, which is awesome. And then the last thing to be thankful for, I mean, there's so many more, but from what I made on my list this Thanksgiving for you Gamecock fans is the fact that South Carolina's head football coach views Thanksgiving as a holiday instead of a meal. Shane Beamer was asked about this in his press conference earlier in the week. Here's what he had to say on that.
And in your opinion, is Thanksgiving a holiday or a meal?
Thanksgiving is a holiday, in my opinion. Good question.
Now, obviously, this was just a list that I made of things that I think Gamecock fans should be extra thankful for on this Thanksgiving Day, but there are so many more things to be extremely thankful for. I know we at Gamecock Central are so thankful for all of our amazing subscribers and all of you who watch our videos, view our content. Thank you so much for all that you do. We are so extremely grateful to have you a part of the GC family. Again, I hope that you all have an amazing Thanksgiving. Think of the things that you are thankful for, and hopefully after this weekend, the South Carolina Gamecocks can be thankful for a lucky number 7 win against the Clemson Tigers. But that's going to do it for today's special edition of the GC Roundup, things you should be thankful for as a Gamecock fan. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and I will see you back here soon for another edition of Before the Sandstorm. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to GamecockCentral.com. Have an amazing Thanksgiving and enjoy the Egg Bowl tonight. I'm taking Ole Miss, by the way. We'll see you next time.